If you do that now and you get through that Christmas now, it's going to mean so much by the time you get to January. How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today I wanted to do a video on should you quit drinking alcohol before Christmas. It's one of those questions that I think a lot of people, I think the majority of people, what they're going to do is they're going to wait until after Christmas. You know, it's an obvious choice. You say to yourself, right, and then this is the time I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit in January. I'm going to get through the holiday season because the holiday season is just going to present me with way too many temptations. It's going to cause way too much anxiety with me, and just get into that. Getting past Christmas and getting to the new year, and once the new year comes, then I can do basically, you know, I can have a fresh run at it. And it's what everybody does, and I think it's one of those things that is A, it's a cop-out, right? It's an excuse for procrastination, and B, you're putting yourself into the same old, right? You're just doing the same things over and over again. I know, I've done it, you know, the amounts of times that I said to myself, on January the 1st, this is when I'm going to lose weight, this is when I'm going to stop drinking, this is when I'm going to go to the gym, this is when I'm going to quit drinking alcohol, or at least moderate my drinking alcohol. That was always my thing. So it was quit smoking but moderate my alcohol use, and it always failed me, because it was the same old. You know, I'd last maybe 2 or 3 weeks, you know, a month at most, and then it'd be back to normal again, you know. And you know, when you go through Christmas like that, you drink. This is what I used to do anyway. I drink like a fish. So I drink so much alcohol that by the time New Year's Day came around, I was so sick of drinking, you know, I felt so ill because of drinking, that it was easy to stop drinking for those first few days especially. And you know, the first few weeks it started to get a bit difficult, but then, you know, like I say, towards the end of January I nearly always went back to drinking, or you know, by the end of January almost all of the New Year's resolutions that I've made had fallen by the wayside. So why not try something different? You know, why not give it a go now at this side of Christmas? And there's a lot of different reasons for it. You know, if you get through the holiday season, if you get through those 12 days, traditional 12 days of Christmas without drinking alcohol, it will give you such a confidence boost, such a boost in your own self-confidence and your confidence in your ability to do things, because you've cracked this one huge thing. I waited a year. I stopped, you know, traditionally. I did it traditionally, but it was different when I stopped, right? It was different for me because I had this huge reason. I was no longer moderating. I wasn't trying to cut back. I wasn't trying to give myself a dry January or anything like that. I was saying to myself, look, I've got to fucking stop this shit now, because I was leading my son down the wrong path, and that gave me a real emotional kick up the arse that I needed, right, to stop. So when you go through Christmas, when I went through that first Christmas without alcohol, the first Christmas I was nearly a year without alcohol, and I was really anxious coming up to Christmas, and it wasn't because I thought I was going to have a drink, but it was because of that traditional, this is what I did traditionally, this is who I was traditionally, you know, myself as the core person that I am, was to have a drink of alcohol, was to drink as much as I could over Christmas, because it was Christmas, you know, it was time to go down to the off license, buy as much as you could, go to the office parties, go to the whatever parties you could go to, be in the pub as much as possible. You had all this time off work, and get drunk all the time, you know. That was what it was about. And that first Christmas without alcohol for me was absolutely superb. You know, I remember, not every moment, but I remember it so well, you know. It was, you know, I did so many different things, and I enjoyed the time. I enjoyed the time with my family. It just meant something completely different. It went back to being what it should have been in the first place. And the one thing that I learned above everything else about that first Christmas without alcohol, and every Christmas since, is that it's just a day like any other. You've got the same 24 hours. You wake up in the morning, you go to bed at night, right? You have your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. But it's a special day, right? You make it the special day that you want. You make it the day that you want. If you want to have a special day, and if you want to really enjoy yourself and to relax and to really have fun, you can do that. It's all down to you. It's all down to your commitment, to your attitude more than anything else. If you want to make it a shit day full of anxiety, you can do that as well. It's there for you. You can just get your expectations up that things are going to be shit and you're not going to enjoy yourself without alcohol, and hey presto, guess what's going to happen? But it's down to you. I've got a course that I'm putting up now at the moment on Habits Unplugged, and one of the consistent themes that runs through that course is that it's your mind. It's mind over, it's what you think and how you think and your attitude and your expectations and your commitment and your responsibility and all that kind of stuff. But if you change this one thing, right, if you think to yourself that this is just another day, that Christmas is there, the holiday season is going to happen anyway, whether it happens now, 3 weeks time, or whether it happens in a year's time, right? You're still going to have to get through it, right? If you do it now, right, while you've got that initial motivation, where you've got that really burning desire to stop and to make a change in your life, if you do that now and you get through that Christmas now, it's going to mean so much by the time you get to January. You've got that motivation which is really high now, you've got that commitment which is really high now, you've got that sense of longing to do something, to change these things in your life. And like I say, Christmas is going to happen anyway, and there's benefits to waiting a year, right? You've gone a year without drinking alcohol, but that huge benefit that you will get, like I said, from stopping now and from going through that experience now, from thinking about it and planning for what you want to do right now, that is going to be huge for you. By the time you get to January, the positive benefits are going to be huge. I mean, think about it like in terms of willpower, right? Willpower for me is one of these things that you get at the beginning of a day and it drains throughout the day. It's like self-control. It's like, think about it like a battery. You wake up the day and your battery is full charged, and during the day that battery gets drained, right, as you move along throughout the day, and you need sleep to recharge yourself, you need food to recharge yourself. But think about this as being a bank or a huge battery, and when you go through something like Christmas, you go through a personal time in your life. This is a regular thing that happens every year, but it means a lot. It means a lot socially, it means a lot culturally, it means a lot personally to us. When you go through an event like this without drinking alcohol, with a different mentality, it just gives you so much more energy in that battery pack that you can use, that you can pull on when you're feeling shit, in January, when you get an odd day where you're feeling crap. And it really will help you. So I want you to think about it. Think about stopping now. Think about the how it's going to affect you if you don't stop now. It's only, like I say, you're talking about 3 weeks. You're talking about Christmas being 12 days. But when you break it down, it's not really 12 days. It's, you've got 2 or 3 days which are important days. And it's only those that you have to get through. You get through those now without alcohol, and you will notice so much. You'll get so much benefit from it. So just something to think about as we're coming up to the holidays. There's no reason to wait until January. I think waiting until January is a detriment for most people, because you're going back into that same old again. You're going into the old thinking, which you've got that thing in January where you've gone through the Christmas, you've already indulged yourself so much that you're sick of it. By the time you get to January, you just want to change, but it doesn't last that. It's a completely different mindset when you're going into it from the beginning of December. So think about that, and I'll speak to you again soon. If you want my help to stop drinking alcohol, like I say, we've got the Habits Unplugged training course. It lasts for longer than a year. I mean, we're putting up daily videos now, so every time, there's going to be more and more videos all the time. We've got videos just on so many different subjects. But mainly we're talking about preparation, getting you prepared to stop drinking alcohol, transition, which is the period that you go from having the drinker's mind into not having it, into thinking, you're 80% of the way towards getting to where you're not thinking about alcohol anymore. And then the transformation period is the rest of the time. That's when we're changing things so that you never want to go back to alcohol again. And it's a great program. It's there's a lot of stuff there that can really help you no matter what stage you are in this journey. And you can take a 7-day trial for $1. So the link is down below. And I'll speak to you again soon. All right, take care of yourself, and onwards and upwards. Bye now.